You're able to have some amount of control over how you're feeling and what you're experiencing in a moment where you feel a lack of control otherwise. Yo. Okay. Hey people. I want to talk, maybe even make a little series going over some specific reasons why we smoke weed and why weed and using weed is a really seemingly attractive thing to do. The state change or dissociation when you know someone or you are someone who's really incredibly depressed and they don't leave their room and they're not picking up their clothes and they're just watching TV all day, they're likely dissociating. They're engaging in something that's letting them distance themselves from their reality and the problems and struggles that they've encountered in their reality that are leading them to seek out this relief. So personally, from my own experience, my weed abuse, when I started doing it alone every night on a regular basis, when I was, very young, was a reaction and a dissociation technique to what was going on around me. So, in reference to weed, what is a state change? It is engaging in something that lets you feel and experience things differently at its core. When I talk about that in relation to weed, I'm talking about, and this is from my own experience, and it may or may not apply to other people, but a lack of control, whether it's emotionally or regarding a specific situation, or you're in a toxic environment, you are able to have a state change by smoking weed. You're able to have some amount of control over how you're feeling and what you're experiencing in a moment where you feel a lack of control otherwise. I think that's the best way of describing it. It has really helped me in my quitting and relapsing and quitting of weed to kind of identify some of the reasons that I began to abuse it and why I did for so long. And this is a really big one. And I think one that relates to almost anyone who has a dependency issue with a substance, and in this case, weed in particular. Doing something that makes you feel a certain way near 100% of the time, and it's different from your sober state. It might seem really obvious, like, yeah, that's why people drink, that's why people blah blah blah, but it's not so obvious. When you kind of piece together that the reason you're using this substance is to dissociate in this specific manner and to regain control in areas, in emotions where you don't have control, you can kind of begin to work backwards from that and identify and address some of the things that some of the feelings and emotions and environments that you don't have and don't feel either safe or control or stability in, that is pushing you towards weed, towards finding that state change, towards that dissociation. This is kind of out there, so I don't even really know if it's going to be understandable, but the issue with seeking out this type of dissociation and state change is that so much of what is good and formative and rewarding in life is the unknown. And when you start to abuse this this state change of weed, you actually ironically end up furthering a lack of control in your life. I don't really know how to end this. I just wanted to make a quick video about state change and how it's a type of dissociation and how it provides an illusion of control in an otherwise uncontrolled environment. And I hope that can help explain its use and abuse to some of you and help you sort of, like I said before, work backward from that to find out those reasons that you were trying to engage in that state change in the first place. I think the next video I make maybe will be about how the reasons we smoke weed change over time. But that has a lot to do with this also. Yeah, thanks. Peace out.